In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the TWSBI 580 Diamond ALR fountain pen. I'll go over the specs, I will do a writing sample, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this pen coming up. This is the TWSBI 580 Diamond ALR. This is a very important pen, I think, in the fountain pen world, and I think it's become a modern classic. The TWSBI, the company behind TWSBI, has been around for about 50 years. The brand, I want to say, is 15 or 20 years old. You guys correct me if I'm wrong about that. But they're a very important brand because their first pen, or their first major pen, was the 530, and it was basically the predecessor to this pen. Well, there's 530, 540, and then now 580, which they've stuck with. This is sort of the perfected recipe, essentially. But what they did was they gave you a very high quality demonstrator piston filler pen for an affordable price, which was revolutionary at the time. And to be honest, I still think this is one of the best pens in the sub $100 category. It's one of the best beginner fountain pens, the best beginner piston fillers out there. Now, the body is made out of polycarbonate. It's very optically clear. It has a very smooth feel to it. It gives these pens a unique high quality feeling to it. In some lights, you can almost see like a rainbow effect in this polycarbonate material. It feels really good quality. Another unique thing that was special to TWSBI is they gave you, and they still give you, a wrench and a little bottle or applicator of silicone grease, so you can fully service this pen. You can take everything apart. They are intending the user to be able to service it. You don't need a special tool like a Mont Blanc to remove the nib, to remove the piston filling system. You have full control. It doesn't need to go back for a service. You can do it yourself. So that's really nice. The nibs are interchangeable. You can buy individual nib units. They come in extra fine to broad to 1.1 millimeter stub, as I have here, and 1.5 millimeter stub. So lots of options. I just love these, and it took me a long time to get the right contact. Thank you to Neil of the Waste Paper channel for finally hooking me up with somebody that responded to me, and I now carry these at the Paper Mind. This brand also has a lot of pricing integrity, which I truly respect and appreciate. You can't discount these pens. This is $72.99. There is a clear version without the metal grip section. That's $55.99, which is also an excellent option. Let's walk through this pen. So it's called the Diamond because it has these diamond-like facets on the body. You can kind of see the light hitting it there. It looks really nice. The polycarbonate, as I said, feels really robust. It has a more slippery kind of feel to it. So sort of think of it as like a resin pen versus an Urushi lacquer pen. This has more of that Urushi lacquer feel. There's a little bit more of a warmness to it and a more of a slipperiness to it, an oiliness versus, a standard plastic acrylic, which I think is interesting. They have a very solid feel. They don't feel cheap. Even the non-ALR, metal version is very nice. The metal trims on this, to my understanding, are aluminum. I'll correct that if that is not the case. But this pen looks really nice, and I like the newer black trim that we have here. In terms of the design, again, we have that faceted diamond-like shape here. On the cap, we have a TWSBI finial here, which is this sort of red plastic with this silver TWSBI logo. And I think TWSBI stands for something like three treasures or something like that. There's a Chinese translation, but that's sort of represented in this logo here. Clip on this TWSBI, it's not my favorite looking thing. You do have these sort of triangle ends here, and then two sort of bevels on the side there. It's kind of a big chunky thing. You can see it's connected with two, I don't know if there's solder points or screws underneath there, so it's a two-piece kind of affair there. It's a little bit chunky, but it works well, and I think it suits the pen just fine. The cap tapers towards the finial there. The The finial does have this sort of ribbing to it, which I think looks really nice. And then we have two indentations going around the big cap ring here, and then TWSBI in big white letters, 580 Diamond, and Taiwan, because this is a proudly Taiwanese company. In terms of the body here, we can see the piston mechanism here, and it holds a ton of ink. You can see some threading, and then there's a little plastic. I think this is plastic, or maybe it's metal. It could be an aluminum ring. That's probably metal here. And then we have the piston knob, which does look pretty similar to a Pelican. Pelicans are considerably more expensive than the TWSBIs, but they're very similar pens. Now, in terms of uncapping, 1 1/4, I would say. It is threaded. And then with the ALR here, we have this very nice ribbed metal grip section, and then a big trim ring at the end here. It's asymmetrical hourglass shape. It is on the thinner side. It's very similar to the Pelican. Well, this is an M250, but 200 is the same thing. Very similar size grip section and nib. So if you like the 200 or 400, this is a very comfortable, similar sized pen. Now the nib is the same length as an M200 or M400 nib, but it's a bit wider. This is a Yovo number 5 nib. It is threaded. You can buy individual nib units. And the TWSBI has their own custom design here with the TWSBI logo. It says TWSBI and then 1.1 millimeter because it's 1.1 millimeter stub. And we can see there's some scroll work on the wings there, and they have their own feed as well. So they, I assume, must have a very nice relationship with Yovo to have these nibs. And I've had very good luck with all of my TWSBI nibs. I haven't had any problems. Their stubs in particular are very, very nice. And like I said, it's a piston filler. One thing with if you go with the full clear version instead of the metal one, the one that's $55.99, you will be able to see the feed in here, which is one downside. You can't do that on this pen. One thing I don't love about these pens is they don't post very far down. They do post securely, but they become a little bit back weighted. Okay, let's do some measurements. So in terms of the length, we're looking at about 142. Uncapped, which is how I pretty much always write with it, about 130. Posted, it's going to become very, very long, and it does become a little bit back heavy, about 176, 177. And then the grip section. So at the narrowest point here, sort of the middle of that hourglass, 9.4. And then at the widest point back here, 10.9. I do find that it's on the thinner side, but it works well and it is comfortable for me. Oops. Okay. So now in terms of the weight, with it capped and everything, 27 grams. And this has a good amount of ink in it, although and then 17.13 or 31 grams. This is a very comfortable pen for me. I've really enjoyed writing with it. If you like an Pelican M400 or 200, a similar grip section, similar size nib, just a bigger body overall. And then in terms of comparisons to some pens, we can just see it here against a Pelican M250 here. So you can see it's larger. Here's a Kaweco Sport. Here is a Pelican M670 here, again, bigger than that. And then for some more comparisons here, we've got a Pelican M809. Again, it's taller than that and a similar size body. And then a a Aurora Optima there. So it's definitely a full-size pen. The nib is a bit smaller than a number 6 because these are number 5 nibs. And I will say for the size of the body, the nib and the grip section are a touch on the small side. But again, this is so much pen for the money. For the writing sample, I'm going to be using a Papermind Tomoe River hardcover notebook. These notebooks are excellent for fountain pens and for Blake's Broadcast viewers and subscribers. You can get 10% off with code BB10 at checkout. All right, so this is the TWSBI 580 ALR. It's the Diamond, and this is TWSBI Black. This is my first time using a TWSBI ink, and this black ink is super wet. I really, really like it. This is a 1.1 millimeter stub. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to add a bottle to my ink collection because it's really good. Now I'll do fast writing. Can be a little bit tricky with a stub, but we'll just try it. Flawless performance. This is such a nice nib. It's super, super smooth, and it's very forgiving. You know, if I turn, look at, I mean, I'm turning this, okay, it's going to skip a little bit because I'm turning the nib like super off center, and it's like not, it just, I'm turning the nib, and it's very forgiving, when a super forgiving stub. And it just, yeah, it keeps up really nice. I really like this black ink. It's super wet. Very, very good performance. In terms of flexibility, so that's no pressure with some, you can get some. It really is kind of, I don't want to say it's a nail necessarily, but pushing on it, so there's no pressure, and here's with some pressure. I don't really, you're not going to see line variation from pushing harder on it, so I wouldn't really bother. The line variation will just come from naturally from the shape of the tip. Reverse writing, yeah, actually it's pretty good, but I don't really know. You don't gain too much from it. It is a bit thinner. Yeah, this can do reverse writing. So that's an option if you're interested in it. Really good performance. I don't know. I love these pens. You know, I've been recommending them back when I had my blog, the Unroyal Warrant. So been recommending these pens for, I don't know, 15 years, something like that. Okay, what are my pros and cons for the TWSBI 580 Diamond ALR fountain pen? Well, I think for fountain pen users, new fountain pen users in particular, this offers one of the best writing and just general experiences you can get for the money. At $73, you're getting a very high quality demonstrator piston filler body, and this I think just makes the pen more fun. It has these nice facets. The optical clarity of the polycarbonate is really high, and it just makes, I think, a new user really appreciate what a fountain pen offers. It's a fun pen, it's a very good quality pen, and it writes really nicely. You have in the box, you get a wrench and silicone grease, so this is user serviceable. The nibs are threaded and they write really nicely. Having this very forgiving, easy to use 1.1 millimeter stub adds flair to your writing. I think this encapsulates all of those great attributes that make writing with a fountain pen special. And you know, it's doing it for under $100, or if you don't go for the metal trim, the clear is, you know, $56. It's a very nice, honest, high quality product. There isn't any fluff. It does what it says, you know, on the tin, and it's just a fantastic, fantastic pen. Now, in terms of cons, these don't post that well. I mean, they do post securely, but it becomes very long. That is really my main complaint with these. I would like to see maybe a number 6 versus a number 5 nib. I think that would be a little bit of a nice upgrade here, but this writes really, really well, and it's just sort of more of a visual thing where I think that the number 6 nib would look even better on this full-sized body. Other cons, you know, I've heard of these cracking. Probably not this one because this has the metal grip section and the metal ring here, but the full plastic ones, I've heard that happen. It's never happened to me, and I've had a lot of these, but I think TWSBI does take care of that. Something to consider if you're getting the full plastic one, just don't over tighten the cap onto the body. I do think that the branding is pretty strong on the cap ring. I mean, you can see it from here. It's not super subtle, but I think it goes with this pen, and at this price point, I think that is perfectly okay. And honestly, the 580 at this point has become a modern classic, in my opinion. This is one of the best fountain pens for new users, as long as they're okay with the piston filling system. You know, a lot of new users will want to use a cartridge because it's easier and simpler for them, which is totally valid. But for a new user, this is one of the best experiences you can have. And really, once you start paying more money than this, you're not gaining a huge amount. Yeah, that's just the reality there. Okay, that's it. Do you guys have this pen? Do you like this pen? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and until next time.